And do you feel as if we give enough space, to our actors to carry these characters, or do you think more work needs to be done in that regard?
What is a medium ground? Be mindful of what I have to go through to give you that thing. You guys cast people that just do themselves, play themselves on set. Then I come in and I'm go, whoa, but this is not me. I have to meditate 30 minutes before set. I have to get into a certain state. There's affirmations and chakras I have to kind of align to get to that state. And before I go and beat this person, I mean, it's a business for sure, but we have to also look at it from, what is this business made of? What is the DNA of this business? And the DNA of this business is human beings. Human beings portraying other human beings, reenacting life itself.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 1 of our second season of the Film Biz Show, the only show where we delve into industry professionals' minds to discover their insights on the current landscape of the film and television business, both in South Africa and internationally.
Please subscribe, like, comment, and turn on the notification button so you are aware of our future episodes that you will love so much.
Many know our next guest for his excellent work as the character Mqhele Zulu on the hit TV series The Wife. However, he's graced the screens for years with multiple roles in films and shows such as Necktie Youth, Roots, Collision, Beautifully Broken, How to Ruin Christmas, Office Invasion, The Woman King Headspace, The Brave Ones, and the new Showmax original Red Ink. Can't wait for that one, which will be out by the time this episode is out. That was just naming a few. Everyone, please help us in welcoming legend in the making and my dear friend, Bonko, Khoza.
Hey,
welcome, brother. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for gracing us with your presence.
Bro, it is my honor. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, man. I've been looking forward to having you on the show.
Yeah, we've been.
Yeah,
we've been talking about that.
Yeah, man. So we first met the first time, I think 12 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, 12 years. In fact, I was just thinking about it before this interview that, when I started calling myself an actor.
Yeah.
Remember how the head of the market lab used to say, you're not an aspiring actor. You're an actor.
Yeah, this is it. It's
the
now.
day I called myself an actor, you were in that room.
Yeah, man.
So
likewise, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But B, you've been working. You were walking the journey even prior to us coming to the market lab.
Sure.
Yeah, because you'd been at the NSA.
Yeah.
And then you'd delved into a bit of advertising. I think with the academics. Then you came to the market lab.
Yeah.
What transpired there? Because I thought when I met you already, the conversations we were having, I could tell this guy's exposed to the business in a different form. Yeah.
For sure. I mean, I think at that time was 2012, right? So I matriculated 2009.
Yeah.
So there was a bit of a gap in arriving at the lab. First year, I came from an art school and I was doing art, like actual painting, 2D art, and I had these plans of being an artist. We could paint, we could draw, we could design. So I went to a design school. First year, I dropped out. Went to another design school, second year, dropped out. So by the time I arrived at the lab, number one, I had this frustration of self-actualization and kind of self-discovery, and it was, my decision of coming to acting school was one that was made, I would say, based on, it was my decision, and it was based on, I would say, one would consider the dumbest reasons.
Which one?
Which was I was like, what do I want to do forever? What would I want to do? And I chose the thing that came easiest to me. So it was through looking at my life and go, where am I trying the most? And it looked like the arts, the design, this thing. And it's all attached to your parents. This is what you've done. This is your identity. Then I kind of sat with myself and go, bro, what do you just like to do? what do you just enjoy to do? And see if you can just do that for the rest of, and see if you can just study that, and being crazy and what we would call acting now, being crazy and just fucking around, dude, was what I wanted to do, spend most of my time doing. Turns out there's an acting school or a drama school where you wear tights every day and you don't bring any books. There's no pens. No.
Yeah.
I remember when we had what was that class? Was it the theory? There was a theory class.
There
right?
was a theory class.
And like, bruh, there's some niggas couldn't even write.
No.
We didn't want to write. Like, we had to act.
Yeah.
So it was, for me, I felt so at home, dude, because I was like, wow. Number one, my decision paid off. And number two, this thing exists. It exists, bro. We play all day. We have fun. We act like animals, but and we do it professionally.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's what really got me from leaving high school to a little detour and at the lab.
Yeah, but do you feel as if that detour did kind of inform how you approach your career today?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think things happen for no reason. I don't think there's ever a point in your life that's going to become, that's not going to be valuable for you throughout your life. Yeah. And I know you also had a history before the lab, right? And I'm sure that's all coming to play right now. True. And I say this time and time again that, bro, I'm a result and accumulation of many different things. As much as it results on screen or whatever people see now currently, it's all made up of many failures, mistakes, dropping out, until I am what I am today. So I went to graphic design school. I went to a school called Vega, and we finished that for a year, dropped out, went to UJ. After UJ, we learned kind of design principles and communication. Really was called, it was the first BA at the Faculty of Art, Design and Architecture. It was called BA in Communication Design.
Okay.
And, I learned about communication from a visual point of view. And crafting, communicating something through colors, logos, imaging, whatever. And then obviously I drive. They told me April, bro. How early is April? They told me April that my brother, you're coming back. Yeah. You're going to repeat. So I think now, the way I look at my Instagram or come up with ideas or when I work with brands or whatever, I get it. Even after the lab, I had a stint where I went to Umuzi. I started directing. We worked in multimedia, editing, design. I worked at an agency, called Clearwater. We made commercials, ads, promos. So when people see me package a reel, when clients see me packaging a reel, they're like, "Oh, this actor, so good. Well, who's his team?" It's like
one man show.
Yeah, it's all I draw from that experience. We used to make. There was an Isibaya commercial that my creative director and I worked on quite closely, and that's when I first met the team at BAM. Adze and Angus and Des, and that was like literally from pen to edit to on air. I was like fully involved, wrote the concept. So when I look at a reel, I'm like, this time I'm getting all the money. That's the only difference, that this time I'm taking the credit. Yeah, but like from editing, bro, like Premiere Pro, whatever, presenting to clients, pitching, it all makes sense now.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Because when one looks at your content, online content, it's just mind-blowing.
Thank you, bro.
How you think of these concepts is like, shoo.
Thank
you. And
you.
here I was trying to kind of balance my Samsung S40 to take a pic.
Yeah.
Brother's got like red, velvet stuff at the back. And that's just like, man, it's genius how you approach, your brand and how you present it.
Thank you.
I can't honestly think of any one of our colleagues who's close to what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot. I just think right now what I'm really blessed with, apart from the success, is the freedom, you know.
Yes, sir.
Is the freedom to be fully me, to draw from what one might feel as failures and dropping out or whatever. I draw from those experiences now, you know, and I can consider room with a client and speak, you know, and speak objectives, speak design, speak communication, and be like, you know, how do we communicate this thing? And I treat my own business the same way. And it's the freedom, though, I won't lie. Like the fact that I can, by virtue, I guess, you know, of the success, people know your name and da-da-da, and people are happy to work with you. It's just like, wow, man, how many ideas can we push out in a day, in a week? How can we push the envelope with these brand collaborations? And to a large extent, it also works in my job, you know. Design thinking is just a way of thinking, you know, and a way of communicating ideas through palatable and, you know, palatable ideas. You know, how do you take a high concept or something that seems quite intricate or quite objective and make it subjective to everyone and make it palatable for everyone? And I think that's also what I apply to my acting work as well. Yeah.
And brother, I think for the sake of our audience members, they need to know the lab. When you talk about the lab, we're talking about the Market Theatre Laboratory.
Right.
Yeah, that's basically was the institution which gave birth to our careers.
Yes, man.
You know, although it was quite a challenging environment, you know. But I must say as well, before I lose this thought.
Yeah.
So we were 12 in the class of first year, something like this.
Yeah. It wasn't a big class.
And it was a class of class clowns. But you were the biggest clown.
Yeah.
You know, Bonko, as soon as he just stood up and said something, I'd just be cracking. So you know, from that time, there was really something, you know, distinguishable about you. You know, especially, I know in that time you were very much into drum and bass and exploring other aspects of yourself as a performer. But now that it's been like about a decade, just over a decade, you know, you're doing this full on.
Yeah.
Has your career turned out the way you've envisioned?
I'd say yes and no. By virtue of just existence, you know, things don't stay the same, right? So I can't take my limited 21-year-old ambitions and hope to have lived them now in 2024. But have I had the joy and freedom creatively that I had prayed for? 1,000,000%. I am where I wish I was, bro. Like, okay, we didn't wish for fame, and I just wished to be myself still. Like, I just hope the world didn't change me, you know, and money didn't change me. But we change. We do change. We grow maturity. I'm a dad now. I'm married now. I've got different responsibilities. I'm inevitably going to change or transform. But as for what I prayed for and wished for, yeah, sometimes I wake up and I'm like, shit, we're here, right? We're here. I mean, you find people who come up to you. Look, and also my thing with success and fame or whatever, like in the drum and bass scene, like, we had relative fame, right? In the small niche little scene. But it was always at the parties.
Yeah.
So at the parties, I was used to this thing of like people coming up to me, bro, I love your shit, da-da-da, da-da-da, you were dope, da-da-da. And I think I'm always someone who's like used to kind of, I don't call it praise, but like validation, like, because I also come from like a rap background. So the only way you know your punchline worked or your line worked is that, you know, you need that feedback to be like, okay, I'm on the right track. And so now that it's happening on like such a macro level, I'm just grateful, bro. And I realized, nothing really changed. It changed. It grew. It transformed into like it's this current time. And I say this all the time, is like, I was always going to be the best at what I do. Whether I'd be a writer, director, I'm a Leo, bro. I'm hella competitive. I'm like, I just want. I know what I want, you know, and I want to make it look nice. I want people to enjoy it. Those are my metrics, bro. You know, my metrics that it must look beautiful. The next person must enjoy it. It must be shareable. It must be something that brings people together. If I don't tick those boxes, then I've still got work to do. That's, you know. But in terms of to answer your question, yeah, this is definitely what we pray for, bro.
And how's that blown up kind of informed also your, you know, in Setswana we say maitshwaro, how you hold yourself, you know, how you carry yourself in public. I'm sure, you know, I mean, we've had these conversations before of some friends that I've had to fall off, you know, some people around you that you've had to let go of. Meeting new people, has it actually informed, has it made you more conscious and intentional about, you know, that part of your life?
No, for sure. I think the biggest thing is the biggest part of the way I'm really fortunate is that it happened after the fact. So I never really had to become mature because of the success. The success was a little more manageable because I had already grown up. As you say, bro, you know, 12 years ago, we were like, these crazy niggas. Imagine giving that nigga this.
Yeah, no.
You know?
No.
It'll be a complete waste. So I think God was very great in engineering the way everything played out. And, you know, I was married all before the wife, you know. The success and stuff all came once I was matured, I believe, you know, because Lesego and I had been dating for a long time. We met at the lab, as you'd know. And yeah, dog, way before things really popped off, I was secure in who I want to be as a human being, as a man. I knew I wanted to be a husband. I knew I wanted to be a dad. So already I was moving in a certain direction where I think I became ready for this level of responsibility as opposed to the other way around. You know, you always miss the child star years, right? When you turn 16, you're like, fuck, it's running away. It's running away.
But maybe it was a good thing.
But maybe it was a good thing, bro. You know, and as we say before we started rolling, that like you actually have to be more grateful for the things you didn't get as opposed to the things you do. I mean, I always look at it as like, this is my opinion and how I work. I know I'm good. So if you finally see that, I'm just like, welcome.
Welcome.
Phew, you know? But when I don't get a job and I finally see it, I'm always like, phew, thank you, Lord. I see what you were doing. Thank you for that. I mean, I'm grateful for everything, and I'm always like, thank you, Lord, for helping them see what you've put inside of me. But I've never worked from a validation point of view where I'm like, I need that other person. Maybe it comes from being an artist, right? Because we work in isolation. We paint on our own. We live. You don't paint. Acting is so strange, right? Because before you finish the picture, you need these validation steps, your audition, your callback. But in my head, when I'm making the character, I'm done. From that first minute you gave me the script, I read and I performed it. That's the nigga. He's not going to change. Maybe you're going to put clothes on him and you're going to put him in the set. But like, that's him. So what I do with my auditions now, I do everything. I just put on the costume and everything. So you like, and my coach always says, make it feel like a movie take. I just give you the movie take so that we don't waste each other's time. Because now, will it become a power play when you're trying to adjust what's already? Because in my head, I'm done. This is Mqhele, guys. Whether you're going to add another jacket on him, but me, I found him the day at the audition. Plus, Mqhele was a self-tape. I found him that day in my room. That's him. He doesn't get more him than him. Maybe you're going to add an actress and other characters to paint your picture. But for me, you know, so I never work in reverse where I'm like, is it nice? And then you get the audition and then, did it work? And you get and I think I've been such a relief to some directors because they're like, he knows. I'm safe with him. Instead of that actor is always nagging. Did you like it? What do you think?
I'm thinking, what do you think about that?
We don't care, man.
Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Yeah, which is a wonderful thing, man.
Ah, try, bro.
It's a wonderful thing. I mean, I did say, I met you, I think we were together on set, I think 2021, 2020, and we were shooting Office Invasion.
Yeah.
And, Bonko, in our brief interaction, we had spent more time prior to that, but I think things got busy on both sides, and we hadn't been able to link up as we did in the past. But it was on that day, I was just thinking back, obviously as I'm prepping for this interview, like that day there was something different, there was a switch in this man, and because I was already in my headspace trying to figure out my future, how am I going to play this whole thing, I could feel when I met you that, okay, this guy's, he set his path. He knows where he's going. He's no longer like, kind of flopping around, you were like, and some of these things had not manifested yet. I know you were still shooting the Brave Ones, or just done with the Brave Ones. And this is what, I believe that it happens inside of you before the outside, kind of confirms it.
Yeah.
And I could feel it with that interaction that, nah, man, this guy's,
thank you, bro.
He's a lion now.
Yeah.
A full-on lion.
No, for sure. Yeah. Thank you, bro. And I feel the same about you, dog.
Sure,
like,
brother,
I mean, it's I say that also because, you and I started together.
Yeah.
We were like the kids there in our tights, eating chips there, TFC, whatever, smoking weed at the park.
Hey, bro.
Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Which is valid and necessary. But when I saw you, I mean, recently after we had separated from school, and it's like, boom, like, dude, I'm producing, boom, boom. I mean, you were directing with James on that final play, which we won't talk about.
Yeah, man, that play was, man, I wish we could touch on it.
Yeah. And I think already, dude, you appear to be someone who understands where you're trying to go. Yeah. As much as you are holding it or not, but I could tell, and I took a lot from you as well, bro. That's like, because it was also a lot for a kid among actors to say, I'm not gonna act, I'm not gonna take the spotlight. I want something here. That move felt very intentional. When we heard that Marcus is actually gonna be the assistant to the director, and we're like, nigga, you don't want the lights. You don't want the lights. You don't want the stage. Yeah. But I was also like, but what, And to be honest, off the record, that's really what made me decide to do what I did then. Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons where I was like, nah, dude, there is someone who's showing me that there's more to this thing. Yeah. And obviously, I also felt like the universe was
man,
pushing me out.
Your choice, and I know the audience doesn't really know what we're talking about, but your choice then really rocked me because you forced me to step up, like when you decided to leave, and I was like, you forced me to step up, and that character grew as the show was running, right? Sure. And in the back of my mind, I was always wondering, like, where's Bonko? How would it have been if he was still, doing this? But then afterwards, I realized also, some things really had to happen. They have to. Yeah.
And I've been either blessed or cursed to always be faced with those things where I think when normal people become numb and complacent, I still have...
You go.
I still have,
Brother, you keep going.
I still have to fucking go, dude. And it happened, if you think about it.
With Mqhele. When I saw that, I'm like, Bonko's pulling it again. And that was crazy. But also, I feel like...
But you would get it. You would get it, right? Because you were like,
completely-
nah, I know this guy.
I know this dude. I
Yeah.
know. And funny because, it seems like from that choice, you only grew stronger.
And you only do, right? You only do. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's a blessing or curse, because it's a blessing because I always have to validate those kind of decisions to everyone else. Yeah. Where, I almost have to, play this kind of Jesus archetype. Yeah. But also it's a curse in the sense of like, at the time, people don't understand. Yeah. And it's also me that also has to keep doing this thing. Yeah. So, when it happened on that previous show, it was necessary. And as much as the incident in isolation feels painful, I hope that the lesson for all of us as performers, as producers, becomes a different one, and we navigate ourselves differently. And I mean, I'm grateful to be working on the channel again, with working on with the company again. And there's no bad blood, right?
Yes, sir.
I think there's no bad blood because it was never about anyone's egos.
Yeah.
You know, I think they just realized, shit, we should have,
Be more precious.
yeah, we should have been more mindful about
Yeah.
what this is doing to
Yeah.
another human being.
You know, B, I want to touch on this aspect, of, do our line producers, are they really, mindful of process, of
Yeah.
what we go through? Because I'm asking this specifically because I have been talking back and forth with, so the MTV's basically started a new division where they're incorporating, it's almost like a program that teaches filmmakers, actors, everyone across the spectrum in our space, the importance of, being mindful of mental health,
Right. Right.
in our process.
Yeah.
And do you feel as if we give enough space, to our actors to carry these characters? Do we honor, actors enough, or do you think more work needs to be done in that regard?
It depends, bro, because you're in an environment where it's based on, like, it's supply and demand, right? So if there is no need for me to give it, also, I'm saying the responsibility is also on actors, right? Yeah. So if one actor, let's say 9 out of 10 actors don't have that process that Bonko has, it becomes almost
a norm.
Yeah, a norm. And then when Bonko comes up and goes, whoa, what the hell, dude? This is how I work. This is how I want to do this thing. I need my own trailer. I need my own space because I'm playing the psychopath or whatever. I also don't blame line producers in the sense of saying, okay, bro, but the past 9 productions, these niggas have never complained, have never come with so I don't know, what do you want us to do for you? So I'm just like, it's a catch-22 where I think we all need to sit down, and consider, what is a medium ground? Yeah. We're not asking for trailer land, what do they call it, video land, bro? When niggas got trailers, I'm not asking for that, dude. But I'm asking that, be mindful of what I have to go through to give you that thing, But also, they go ahead and cast niggas who ain't bringing nothing, You guys cast people that just do themselves, play themselves on set. Then I come in and I'm go, whoa, but this is not me. I have to meditate 30 minutes before set. I have to get into a certain state. There's affirmations and chakras I have to kind of align to get to that state. And, before I go and beat this person, who, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't just wake up and just say action and just beat the lady. No. You know what I'm saying? So it's also, we have to not treat it so much. I mean, it's a business for sure, but we have to also look at it from, what is this business made of? What is the DNA of this business? And the DNA of this business is human beings. Human beings portraying other human beings, reenacting life itself. So, yeah, dog. I mean, it's very important, I think, for line producers to consider what space, but also for actors not to take advantage of that, and actually use that to their advantage. And I mean, there's other industries that have proven to do it well time and time again. So it's not saying that it's something specific to the US or specific to the UK. No, I just think it's an industry thing, and we just have to catch up. At least give us trailers. At least give us green rooms. So the ones that do choose to, or do have that process, do have a space to work that way. And the other guys, bro, you can chill out. You guys can hang. I mean, we had
TikTok videos.
You can do your
Do
thing.
your dance challenges. Oh Lord,
but I mustn't be trapped now.
Yes,
in
that environment.
In that environment,
Yeah.
Many sets I've had to go sit in the driver's car or drive my own car just so I know we take Pela here, there's no space. I need to sometimes relax. I need to chill. I need to breathe. I need to, maybe I've just come out of a hectic scene. I need that space, and we all have our own individual morning rituals, bro. I pray, I meditate. It's wrong now to want me and not want what makes me me. I don't wake up and just come straight to work. There's something I do to gather myself to be presentable and work nicely with you guys. It's nice to respect that too.
I think it's what you're touching on is so important, and we don't see the value of it because, as I was just telling someone once, I was on set. There was a continuity problem. The director said, our audience, they don't care.
Yo,
just leave it, man.
Nah,
but
that's painful.
but that's a general attitude, right? Like the audience doesn't care. Like Bonko, whether you are aligned with your chakras or you had that prayer, look. You just delivered that line, and we shoot in the next scene.
Yeah, I've been on a set where it was like first take is the take. Shoo! I'm like, hey guys, really? Like, yeah, this is the one. What do you mean? Moving on. We've got 15 scenes, don't we?
So don't try.
So I know, Doug, it's tough, and I just don't know. I don't know if is it the budget? Is it time? Is it expertise? And like, I'm all for employment, But at the end of the day, we're playing tandem with an audience, who I believe we should give more power than the money itself. And if you look at a Nollywood kind of archetype, they have the audience thing down, And I think with the way they've understood it is that even if you give us 10 million, we'll do 10 movies, because we know what our audience wants and likes. But a statement like that undermines the audience, And there's things I read online, and when you go to social media and you read what people think about what we're doing, you're like, okay, we don't really have that down yet. We're still working on an assumption that this is what these people want. So it's a negotiation with the audience because I'm sure people want to see much cooler content, bro.
So you are a relatively well-traveled person, right? And with the work you've done with Necktie Youth, you were able to go to festivals outside of the country in the States. What do you think the current perception of our business is?
From an overseas market?
From an overseas market point of view.
Potential.
Okay.
Potential, young, fresh. Potential, young, fresh. Interesting. So I think we have to meet our global reputation where it is, and it's great to know how people perceive you so you can act accordingly or adjust accordingly. So I just think from a South African point of view, because the world has eyes on us, bro. I mean, if you look at other industries and outside of our business, bro, South Africa is huge. You've got your Trevors, you've got your Tusos, you've got your Drickers du Plessis, you've got the rugby. So, I mean, if you go to other places of the country, other places of the world, and you say, do you know South Africa? It's most likely a yes, right? So, Tyler just won a Grammy. There's no reason why we should be still playing small in terms of our stories, in terms of our industry. And we have the budgets, we've got the streamers. Yeah, Doug, that's going back to my previous points. It's like we haven't understood the audience fully. I think we are still slacking in terms of, or we're still like falling behind on understanding who's the audience right now. I mean, there is a number of shows. You have new shows with young people, your Blood and Waters, which was a great success. You have, some really nice contemporary stuff for niche type of markets. But I don't think the trick is to speak to everyone with one product, but to have many different products that speak to a bunch of different people. So that's the difference with us. If you go overseas or to the US, man, if you talk about psychological thrillers as a genre, You know, there's a million of them. There's a ton of them. And then here in South Africa, we've just kind of started. You know, you got Red Ink, you've got Catch Me a Killer, you've got, Reka. It's like a handful. I mean, we're fairly young as well, which is something I'm not going to blame anyone on. We're a young country, we're a young democracy. You know, I'm even older than the democracy by a couple of years. You even more.
Oh, come on, B.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's chilled, bro. You know, I see it as a 28-year-old, 29-year-old still finding themselves. But right now, when you're around 28, 29, that's when you're really trying to
Get things going.
figure your life out, know what you're trying to do. So I think we'll get there, bro. Especially with the offerings we have out now. Shoot it well.
Yeah.
Have dope actors on it. Yeah. And maybe go to someone overseas. Ask, bro, how do you guys do this thing? We're trying to implement it. Not that we're trying to do it your way, but there's clearly a standard, for good film, good content. There's a reason why Kevin Hart will pull crazy numbers on a film. There's a reason, there's a mechanism that they're trying to do. Follow that. Have a reference. Maybe because I'm from an art school, we always worked with references. Don't just wing it. Have a reference. Have a sense of direction of what you're trying to do, what you're trying to make it look like. Yeah.
Wonderful, man. So now you star in a new show called Red Ink.
I do?
Another book adaptation, funny enough. But, let's start in the beginning.
Right.
What's this show about? Who's your character? And what is it that interested you in the actual story and the role?
Ufikile lusekhambule ngifuna wena ubhale nje incwajana ngami.
Okay, so the show Red Ink, it's about a ex-journalist, now publicist, called Lucy Kambule, who's kind of going through this, I think I call it a midlife crisis, where she wants more out of her life. Her current life is she's not happy with the current life, and she gets a blast from the past. When she was a journalist, she wrote this article about this serial killer called Napoleon Dingiswayo, the Butcher, which is the character I play. And yeah, so at this point in time, at the point where the story kind of takes off, Napoleon writes Lucy a letter to visit him in prison and write this book about him. And yeah, that's kind of where the story takes place of this ex-journalist who wants to now revive her career by writing this book about a serial killer who obviously has his own objectives. Yeah, with the actors. So Melvin.
What was your reasoning? Why?
Because I wanted people to have a first-time reaction with the character. I wanted Nunu to have, because already, no one has spoken to Napoleon in such a long time. I kind of wanted to make him strange, so that when people hear me or when the co-star hears me and reacts to me, it's possibly closest to the first time as possible that we have this conversation. And Nunu loved that. She was like, dude, that helps me because when we run it first time on camera, it's like fresh, So I'm happy that she could do that with me. But yeah, man, just being civil with everyone. And I think after a while, people understood. After maybe they had a first interaction with the character. And I didn't act with a lot of co-stars, really. I had scenes with Nunu, Rosha, yeah, and the homies in the prison, wasn't much. And Abdul. Otherwise, it did feel like my own little world on this side, I always saw the Red Ink as like the good world and the underworld. And I was mostly in the underworld. So whenever Nunu and I did run a scene, it would be like she's really visiting this guy she hasn't seen before or in a long time. And when the lines come out, they're usually like for the first time. And yeah, it worked out. So I just try to be civil with everyone, bro, while still trying to do my thing.
So now you've got a very exciting new project coming out, directed by Mandla Dube,
Right.
Heart of the Hunter.
Yeah.
That seems to be very exciting. An action thriller. I know it's still yet to come, but what was the experience of working with someone like Brahmandla?
Mandla's a very generous director. I think, I can safely say, definitely one of my favorite experiences. Him and I have grown to be friends. Artists, I do consider him as like a mentor or, of some sort. And yeah, man, he gets it the way I get it. And out of all the things he taught me, it's like I'm trying to move in the way he moves, creatively, artistically, and business-wise as well. It was amazing, bro. Mandla is really high up there in terms of directors. I'll put him top 5, top 3, directors this country has to offer in terms of genre, terms of camera, terms of story, and just in the way he sees the industry and what we're trying to do and what we have to do. Because, Mandla's obviously spent a lot of time in the States. He's worked on big projects, and Italian Job, Men in Black, So when he comes back here and he sees us trying to do that, he's like, nah, this is how you got to do it, And I respect that, bro. Yeah.
Wonderful, man. And now, I mean, you've been watching the waves as they, kind of change and turn in the industry because you've been around for more than a decade. You've seen how things are being run. You've got a sense of how things work. What changes would you still like to see happening in our space?
More money. We need way more money, bro. Like the people with the wallet need to give a bit more, because what that will translate into is more content. When more content will mean more exports. More exports,
More returns.
Essentially
returns.
means more returns, bro. So if we want to make an actual, I still feel like our industry is it feels like a donation. Feels like a home. Yeah. You drop off your clothes, you leave some money, some bread. Where in other countries or in other spaces of the world, this isn't
a business.
It's a business. It's an economical factor. It's a big player in the GDP of a country. If you're looking at the States, the film industry is if that thing had to shut down like it did, it shook up the whole economy. So I think we have the potential. We just need more money, dog. They need to put in more money. I know a lot of streamers, Showmax spends a lot of money on, they dropped 21 shows on the new platform.
That's big.
Yeah, but let's join them. Let other people join them. Start your own streaming service, guys. Get people to fund you, and funders give us money, dog. Especially looking at it as an actor. Like you were saying, in the class, who were 12 of us, there's still 10 other people out there who have a dream of doing this thing. Not to say they didn't have talent. It's about opportunity. And right now, it's still very tight-knit. So if we have more money, more doors will open.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
All right. Wonderful. So now we get to the exciting segment of our show. This is game time. This game is called Either Or. So I'll give you a series of 2 options from which you have to pick one, the one that you prefer over the other. But also don't be afraid to explain why, okay? If you make a choice. Okay, so here we go. Question number 1. Telenovelas or series?
Series.
Oh, why?
Because I think, you're talking about to act in?
Yeah.
Or to watch?
Yeah, to act in.
To act in, yeah. I'm more explosive than I am slow burning. I prefer to come in and out, just by virtue of the type of work that I like to do and how I like to do it. I like to just come in, craft the character, do it, and leave. I think telenovelas tend to drag and become a little repetitive and go in circles. And I think you end up losing the essence of who this character is.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm just like, boom, shoot this out in a couple of months, be out again, start.
And I have heard from actors who've done more long form like telenovelas. They say at times they also feel like the muscle has lost its, its strength, because you're now just playing yourself, man. You've been doing this thing for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
It
definitely has a type of actor, I'm credit to everyone that's still working on telenovelas or works on telenovelas. You have to just know yourself, know what some people enjoy. Like, I'm a Leo, so I know that I get bored easy. I like a lot of different things. I'm very dynamic. As I say, I'm explosive. I'm here, then I'm there. So series work for me in that way. Whereas, I was on a telenovela for a good 9 months, and it was exhausting. It was exhausting. And I'm just like, yo, when do we get to do something else? Because you feel like you've explored this nigga as much as you can. You've done as much as you can. What else are you gonna make him do? You're gonna give him superpowers now. Something fun. Yeah, but I'm that's how I feel.
Interesting. Okay. Drama or thriller?
Thriller.
Why?
Because I think we've explored so much drama in this country, and I think our premise of stories always comes from a dramatic point of view. Like, this one slept with this one's husband, and this one is the slut, and it's always we've explored the drama genre enough. It's time to go deeper, go into thrillers, play with other genres. I'm all for the thriller.
Wonderful, man. Big sets or smaller sets?
Big sets.
Yeah, man.
Big sets. The higher the stakes, the better. I think small stakes, small sets have small stakes. I think people tend to. Look, we're human beings, so we always need to click into a fight or flight mode, right? So when the stakes are higher, you're sharper, which means you're at your peak. So rather create an environment where people are always at their peak, as opposed to where one can be comfortable and it's like, he's looking at the cameras, he's looking at the lava. So now I won't go do my best, type of thing. So I think when stakes are high, I did a series for CBS, and my nigga, it's just a different level, bro.
Different level,
Yeah, now it's a different level. I'm just like, I can't fuck up. Like, I have to
be on my A.
I have to be on my A.
Yeah.
I love that, dude. And guess what? I come through on my A. What do the producers have? They got Bonko in his A.
That's it. I love that, bro. If you could only do one for the rest of your life, I think I know this answer. Theatre or the silver screen?
Silver screen.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
man. For
that's
sure.
it.
I think you made your decision quite a while back that, look, you in theatre, have you stepped away from it, or?
I'm open to it.
Okay, cool.
I'm open to it. I know homies have been talking to me about doing stuff, and I'm like, call me, do it.
Wonderful.
But I go where the universe sends me. And,
Yes, sir.
as you know, I did my first commercial first year. It was, I was like, when I got onto
It was halls, ne?
Yeah, it was the whole
Yeah, it was a big thing in class, right?
I know.
Like, whoa, this guy.
It's like, it's on TV.
Yeah.
But besides that, for me, it was like, hey, this is nice. Because I've been living theatre for, the whole time. And we knew the stage. We knew what was, to put on a stage production. But being on a set was just, for me, it was just like, bro, this is it.
So much happening at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think also with the theatre, it tends to be, because it's a small community, quite political, This one says that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, it really kind of messes up with my process.
I got you.
Yeah.
But you do both, so that's nice.
Yeah, well, yeah. Okay. So this is interesting. If you can only act in one language for the rest of your life, Zulu or English, what would you do? Choose.
English.
Yeah. Why?
Because English is more universal.
Yes.
I'll have a bigger audience.
Yeah.
I'll have a bigger audience.
Funny. So when I was going through these questions with my producer in my mind, I could almost tell what you can answer.
Yeah.
But this one is interesting.
No, I love Zulu.
Yeah.
But it's just in terms of like, okay, how many more people can hear me? Also, how many more stories can get told in English than in Zulu? Yeah.
International directors or South African directors? And I want to say something, right? Sometimes an international director might be born in SA, but they're just an international director.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like mine.
Yeah, like man.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Ish, boy, for me, a director is not created by where he currently works.
Yes, sir.
A good director is a good director. I could be on a set. I've been fortunate to have worked with both, and for me, I've never had to choose. Like, oh no, these guys are better than these guys. I just think a good director is a good director.
Yes, sir.
I think a better question would be story director or an actor's director.
But wait, there are technical directors.
There's also,
as well.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think separating them
according to a region might not be
fair.
Yeah,
right?
you're right.
I think more of an actor's director for me, right? Someone who can trust me with the character.
Yeah.
And it's usually people who were actors once that understand that, like, this nigga didn't just come to set like empty.
There was a whole process.
Yeah. Like, this nigga actually got the audition, he got the call back, he probably did chemistries, he's probably been working. If anything, he understands the character more than I do. Then he trusts you as an actor to navigate this character through these conflicts and through the storyline. Yeah. And then he knows that I just have to capture this nigga doing his thing. I respect that as opposed to, someone who's going to be very pedantic about beats and whatever, because at the end of the day, we're planting seeds, right? We're throwing fish in the ocean and saying, let me see where this is going to go. And wherever it goes, I'm going to capture it. And hopefully it goes towards our end, there's a beginning, middle, and an end, right? So as long as you know where it starts and you know where it ends, so the next scene cuts properly, or the next thing kind of makes sense being in a sequence of things, that's fair. But like, you can't control humans. You can't tell me hold the cup this way, and I'm always going to ask you, what does that mean? Why? You know what I mean? Why? So what if he's not holding the cup at all? So what if he doesn't scream here? And sometimes you'll find writers that do that, right? They'll say, he cries. You're like, why?
It's true.
So, you know what I mean? And we all have to understand we're humans, right? So it's saying, that's your human experience and your human reaction about this circumstance. But for me, maybe that's not grounds for me to cry, Or maybe, the way I understand the character, it goes back to auditioning. I'm always like, bro, the thing I gave you in the start, that's it. Like, there's no more that you can fix or add or inspire me to do. Like, that's it. When my character progresses, it'll be through my understanding of it, not through someone else giving me more information about the character. Maybe about the story, for sure. But once I've developed the character, put him on tape, given it to him, it's just by virtue of me understanding him and his context a lot more. So it's almost like when I see he sighs, and I'm like, did you like read a crystal ball and come to this day and see that I would sigh? And that gets a little frustrating. But sometimes it's nice to sigh when you feel like sighing and it's not in the script, because my job really is to work outside of the lines, is to create. If everyone's creating, cameraman is shooting what was on paper, now is picture. I'm doing what was words, but now is action and thought and things in between the lines. So, yeah. At the end of the day, I just think we all have to give each other space. Directors, cast, lighting. I'll never stand in the way of a technical flaw. I'll never be like, move the light this way because that. I'll never tell the DOP, use a lens like this. But sometimes you get directors and people will say, do this, do it like this. And
you're like, man.
I don't come to you and say, make your storyboard like this or whatever. But I mean, it's as I say, it's an industry of human beings, bro. We're all negotiating with each other, our different personalities, all to the same end.
It's all energy, isn't it?
Yeah. It's human beings, bro.
Yes, sir. Now the next one is, do you prefer period pieces or films set in the present day?
A bit of both. Is that okay?
Yeah.
A bit of both. I love to tell history. You know, I love this, the new Shara Ilembe series. You know, I think for any Zulu or African, it's important to know that stuff. And I love it when art translates a history lesson, you know, into something enjoyable and nice. But also, I love the current stuff, bro. Like, seeing what happens now, things set in today's age, it makes it fresh, makes it contemporary. So I'd say a bit of both, bro.
Wonderful. Okay. Villain or the hero?
You see, this is my life's work. This question, I'm going to try to answer as concise as possible. The villain is the hero in his own life. So my job has always been to humanize the bad guy. Like, that's what I do. So I take on villain roles because there's still kind of a typecast and an archetype of staring hero. But I'm always trying to do the opposite, trying to make the villain the hero. Because if we talk about acting and human beings, the villain is the hero in his own story, right? He's the good guy. You guys are getting in his way. He's trying to save the world by whatever means
Necessary.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'd say both, bro. Okay, to answer the question, I'd say the villain because my life's work right now in terms of acting is to play bad guys and make people fall in love with them.
You did very well with Mqhele.
Thank you.
It was really, really phenomenal.
Thank you.
Okay, now we've got a new mini segment called Put Them On.
Yeah.
Which is basically like just putting on someone, highlighting any upcoming filmmaker in any capacity of, you know, the whole ecosystem. So whether it's an actor, writer, director, just someone who you've seen who's coming up and young and you think we should definitely be on the lookout for.
Do they have to be young?
Well, coming up.
Coming up?
They don't have to be young, but someone that you feel people should definitely be on the lookout for.
Okay. Acting wise, I would say there's a boy called Pancho.
Hi, my name is Punch Kasela and I play Menzi Dube on Justice Served.
I've heard of this kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pancho, he was on Justice Served. He was also one of the goons in Soon Comes Night.
With the dreadlocks, right?
Yeah.
I love that kid, man.
Yeah, I like
he's also a comedian.
Really?
Yeah, we've gone to one of his sets in Brum.
Okay, nice.
Very funny.
Nice.
We used to have the same agent, so
okay,
we got a very good relation. I love him.
I really mess with that kid. Yeah, I love his performances. I think they're strong. And in terms of directing, I mean, he's not a beginner and he's not coming up at all and he's not young. But Zwerethu Khatebe is still a name that...
Very precious guy.
Yeah. It's a name that is just gonna make noise soon and very soon when the time is right. I think more than putting them on, it's more like a heads up.
Like, guys, something is coming.
Yeah, that Zwerethu Khatebe, don't forget the name. He's really gonna change the game when he finally gets the time. Or when
he gives me the Tebo Khumahlati kind of vibes, you know, very just kind of reserved and
as a person,
and a quiet observer, of your process as an actor.
Sure,
you know, he almost comes and whispers in your ear and says, "Let's try it this way."
Absolutely,
you know, he gives you space and engages you at the right distance. You know,
there you go, dude. Yeah. I think this was really someone who I would also call him an actor's actor. He really respects and understands what it takes to, you know, once you're working directly with the director, I mean, you as an actor have gone through a process. So I think he understands that, respects that. It's like, you didn't start yesterday. I don't need to show you much. I mean, we need to get on the same page about certain things. But man, he's aggressive. His work is aggressive. It's rough. It's disruptive. It's clean. It's sentimental. It's honest. I need to work with that homie
Oh,
again.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys recently worked on a project.
Not recently, we did a commercial years ago, Vic's commercial.
Yeah.
And man, he treated it like a film, dog,
Yeah.
so much care for it. Even like, we had a voiceover that runs throughout the film. And I'm sure we did that like 5 or 6 times.
Jeez.
Just because it was like so specific about what he wanted and he wouldn't stop until he gets it.
Definitely. And right now he's one of the shareholders now of Egg Films.
Of Egg Films, yes, I
Which is
remember. Yeah.
a great move, right?
Which is a great move. Black excellence.
Man.
Yeah,
Shout
man.
out to
But
Zweli.
yo, dude, shout out to Zweli. When he drops his next film or series,
Yeah.
yeah,
Be
everyone
sure,
will know.
guys.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Bonko, man, thank you for this wonderful conversation.
Thank you for having me. Bro.
If I was to be honest, I've been looking forward so much to talking to you, brother.
Thank you.
Funny, I have to squeeze this in.
Yeah.
After we had our production meeting, and we have a long production because everyone's got ideas, and
Yeah.
and I was like, no, we have to get Bonko to do the first episode of, the new season, and we had as I said, long meeting. Drove back home. I was so tired. I literally I died on the couch, slept. I didn't sleep for very long, but I had a dream that day, and in the dream, you come up there, guys, where's my trophy? I don't know what the name of the trophy was. Where's my trophy? And I'd been sleeping. Now, Lesejo's around there. Marcus, where's his trophy? We're all looking. And I think someone from your family, either an aunt of yours or your mom was there. So there we are, pedantic, like, oh my gosh, and I know you when you're in the zone. So you were not like apologetic, like, yo, homie, where's my trophy? You were like, God, I need my trophy. And I think your wife got the trophy and Lesejo gave it to you. And you gave the speech, a thank you speech.
Yeah.
And we were there as friends taking pictures. And I woke up there and I'm like, this is going to happen, man. Big things are coming.
God bless.
Big things are coming, brother.
God bless you, bro.
And I am so blessed to be a part of your journey.
Thank you, man.
To call you a friend,
My
to
nigga.
have seen your growth.
Yes, sir.
And South Africa, man, we're not ready. It's going to be big. Thank you,
bro.
man.
Thank you. God bless you, man.
Yes, sir.
Yo, I'm grateful.
Yes, sir.
I'm grateful and all the best.
Yeah.
Keep climbing.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You got my numbers.
Yes, sir. I've taken a few notes, so there are a few things I'll be implementing differently this year.
No,
that's for
bro,
sure.
and I hope you get to hang more
Yes,
this
sir.
year, bro. All the best. Thank you so much. We